Here we're talking about investing money into stocks. An investment firm has $100,000 to invest for a client and decides to invest it into stocks A and B. The expected annual rate of return, or simple interest for stock A, is 15%. But there is some risk involved, and the client does not wish to invest more than $50,000 in this stock. The annual rate of return on the more stable stock B is anticipated to be 10%. Determine whether there is a way of investing the money so that the annual interest is A, 12,000, and then B, 13,000. So first thing we're going to do is look at the 12,000. But we're going to have to figure, we don't know what we are investing into each stock. So we're going to label some variables. So first, let's say X is the amount going in stock A. And then we have the amount invested in stock B. However, we only have $100,000 that we can invest. So if we are already investing X amount, we only have 100,000 minus that still available to put into stock B. So we're going to say we have 100,000 total. Take away what we just invested in A, and that's how much we're going to invest in B. It's the amount invested in B. Next, let's look at the interest. So simple interest, the simple interest formula, let's write that here. Is I equals P times R times T. So P is the amount of money you're putting in. It's called the principal amount. That's what's being invested. R is your interest rate expressed as a decimal. And then T is the number of years that you're letting the money grow. And then I is the simple interest. So when they talk about simple interest, that's what they mean. Here they're saying that the rate is 15% for A and 10% for B. So that would mean we're going to take our principal amount, which we just wrote down, and then we're going to multiply it by these rates as decimals. So then that would mean that the annual interest in stock A is going to be 15%, which is 0.15, times the amount we're putting in stock A, which is X. So this is the annual interest from stock A. Annual interest in A. We're going to do the same thing for the annual interest in B. That is 10%. We're going to multiply that rate times its principal amount, which was this $100,000 minus X. That is the annual interest in B. So now that we have our variables, and we're not talking about how long we are putting them in, we're just assuming a year since it says annual interest. We are going to add these two together, these two blue equations together, to get our total annual interest for both accounts. So the total annual interest, because here we're wanting that total annual interest to be $12,000. So that's why we're doing this. We're going to take the total annual interest for account A plus the total annual interest for account B which should equal our total investment, which we want to be an annual interest of $12,000. That's our goal for part A. So we're going to set that equal to $12,000. So then from there, we're just going to solve for x and figure out what that x would need to be for that to happen. So we're going to distribute that 0.1 into the equation. And so we're going to get, that would be, it's going to take off a 0. Add those x's together, so we have 10,000. And if you add those, you're going to get 0.05. We're going to subtract 10,000 to the other side. That's going to leave us with 2,000. We're going to divide by 0.05, and that is going to give us 60,000. So if we go back to the variables that we labeled, we see X is the amount that we're investing in account A. So that means account A, we need to invest $60,000. If we have a total amount of 100,000, that leaves 40,000 for account B. We also could just plug that X in here into that B equation that we made. So B, we would need to invest 40,000. Instead of doing part B, which is the 13,000, it would just be the same equation, just set equal to 13,000 instead. So we'll just end it right there.